Hello and welcome everyone back to the dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, and with my players as always. We're missing one, but he'll turn up soon enough, I'm sure of it. So yes, hello and welcome back to our really long planning session, basically. So in the last episode, again, the party are planning or getting their plans in place for the founding, which is coming up in just 2 days' time. No, from this episode is previously they have bought a lot of weaponry, re-equipped their own gang members, done a bit of training with the gang members. They have bought extra weaponry for the Wild Wardens, who they have invited up to their location. They've informed all their allies that things are going down into Titan security. They've modified... I'll say you've modified both vehicles. I've just watched Discord go down in ping. Get back up to green. They've modified their vehicles. Admittedly, the aircraft, the gun cutter, has only been upgraded in the fact that you've released the cargo webbing, so you're able to run people on board, grab hold of the webbing, and then take off. It's a minor modification, if anything. However, on their Hecatear auto carriage, I believe that's what it's called, they have added a dozer blade and increased its armor against small arms fire. So basically, the Hecatear is normally it can be a closed vehicle, or it can be an open top vehicle. You can get more people in the open top variant. What you've done is, instead of having one or the other, you've kind of made it both. So now, when you're in the car and you're all sitting down, you look up and you can see that the roof folds open in 4 places in the back, and those 4 openings are big enough for 2 people to go, down either side. Sorry, not either side, but one to the side, one to the back, one to the side, one to the front, kind of a deal. And the roof folds up, so as it folds, it also provides a bit more armor to your torso area. And look at that, he's arrived. Marvelous. So yeah, your Hecatear auto carriage is more designed now for you to open the top out and have so what did I say, 8? So that's 4 holes, so that's 8 people out the top firing, which I think is the maximum it can hold anyway. So it will be very cramped when you're riding round with 8 people and the roof is closed. But yeah, you can quickly open up the roof and turn it into basically an armored APC. The other things that have happened are that Mordecai and Liliana warded Mordecai's room, and Winters has a new mechadendrite installed and functioning, and I think that's pretty much it. So we wake up on the 4th day of our long planning session.
Was this part 4
yes.
or 5?
This is part 4, because we managed to get
Jesus Christ.
We managed to get 2 days down. But then yeah, we had a stall at one point. I don't know, I might have got the numbers wrong. Thinking about it now, we didn't play last week. This might be part 3.
We kind of did some planning last week, though.
Yeah, we did some planning, but it's So as you all wake up, you have your breakfast, you go through the tick list of things that you guys need to do. Liliana will basically be talking
part
to the
4.
tech priests about utilizing some of their equipment in there. Well, basically, the workshop is also kind of, you know, the garage and the bars, drink and alcohol storage area. So
There's more storage than just the fucking garage.
A perfect place to work. I don't see any issues with it.
the garage is larger than what it is on the map, but yeah, it would that this facility doesn't have like a parking garage and a workshop attached to it. You've just turned their storage areas into these things. Also, I should.
Wait, how the fuck do we park in here?
I should do. So there's a cargo ramp. So the idea is that you can drive a vehicle in to unload the cargo and then reverse the vehicle out. But you guys have basically seen that and gone, well, why can't we keep vehicles in here? But there is no reason you couldn't. It's just the club didn't have any vehicles. So it's just used for food storage, and drink storage. You know,
Air, I guess. Alright.
So I know some of you are going to be doing things. But is there anything you guys want to discuss at the breakfast table on day 4?
I'm sitting there very tired looking. Is there anything someone wants to tell me? What was this about blood?
Feels very pointed.
So when will you start building your skull throne?
You don't know about that.
I know it's not a question.
Oh no, not again.
Just made my room into a safe place for the me and Liliana kind. If the priest is at the table, I'm not saying the Liliana kind, say of the me kind.
No. So this would be so whenever you guys wake up, you get your breakfast in the VIP suite. You've got a servitor to do it. I know all your tokens are down in the club, but it's just so you guys know which groups are set up as which groups.
Yeah, that's right. I just wasn't sure if that.
No.
Anyway, yeah. No one should go in there because it looks like someone's been murdered. Oh, I'm allowed in there. It just stops horrible things getting in.
Okay. What? I'm looking at both Liliana and Mordecai at this because apparently you both decided to do this. So I'm asking, like, what exactly was the plan for this safe room?
Bring to point at Mordecai.
No. You indicted yourself in this. You both were there when you came to my room to talk about the blood.
Also, I'm going to look at. Go ahead. You're probably the one who should say this.
I look at the others and go, well, it was to do with that thing I suggested the other day. It really should be kept to as small a circle as possible. At this stage, at least. I look at the others and go, you will find out if it happens, but just for now, I don't want to be shot in the head. You said I could prepare for the possibility. This is preparing for the possibility.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right.
Speaking of which, we really haven't got more information. We're still very much in the dark about where things are going to happen.
I mean, we have, what, 2 days left before.
Mhm.
Oh, this is in the past.
It's today, tomorrow, and then everything kind of starts, so...
So tomorrow would be the last. Oh, I would recommend tomorrow as the last opportunity to attempt it.
Okay. So, what have people got planned for today?
I'm gonna be in the workshop probably until tomorrow, very late.
Okay. Winters? Etsu?
Unless someone needs me, I'll be drilling our new guys.
Okay. Winters?
I'll
Niger?
be making sure everyone's actually, prepared, but on a physical level for the mission.
Right. Okay.
Could use your help with something, Darius, but if not, don't worry.
What is it?
I could use your help understanding some. Why are you putting a dead woman in my room? I see that.
Stars upside down, this.
No, it's the right way up for the good one.
No, for the protective symbol, it has to be upside down.
It's upside down from a particular viewpoint.
I mean, what if he's casting the spell looking that?
I like the fact that the stream is just looking at the bar while we're talking about a dead woman and a star.
I could
also, the stream can see that you're now called Dictator Dyslexic Gamer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I will admit, didn't realise that when I first actually started, and I was like, huh. Oh well, it's too late now.
It's for Halloween, people. It's for Halloween.
So,
yes.
Yeah. I could use your assistance doing some research, Darius.
Okay.
I think you have particular skills which might be helpful. Plus, you'll see the room and thus, therefore, freak out less about it later.
Right, okay. Let me do a sweep, and then I'll come see you and get this sorted.
Also, I have a thing for Amy. When she arrives, don't send her right to my room. I don't want to see people see that. I just have something to give her.
The sudden pause after that first statement just says, I have a thing for Amy. And then just, wait, what? Okay. Okay. Alright.
Essentially, no one that's not prepared should ever see my room.
Alright, well, they'll probably be pushed off towards another section anyway, so don't worry. Alright. Okay. That actually does remind me, they aren't arriving until tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Or is it today?
I thought it was today.
You're not aware of when they're arriving exactly, but they're arriving.
No, we don't know
on the
exactly,
4th.
but we know out of character.
Yes. Yeah, so today.
Okay. So
That's everything from me. Give me a knock
Okay.
when you're ready.
Right. All right. So let me have a sweep. Let me contact some people, make sure that everything's up and running at the moment. Then I'll come find you, and should they arrive today or tomorrow, they'll be kept out of the way. Happy?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, who wants to do their things? Unless there's anything else needs to be discussed, or
Okay.
Well, we haven't seen much of you. What have you been doing? I get preparing, but just so we're all on the same page.
Darius is just kind of looking tired and, dreary-eyed, and I've been doing research for any possible plans and such, but not really be coming up with much, to be honest with you. A bit of a bad couple of nights sleep too,
I'm familiar with those.
The only kind you get.
Yeah, kinda. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I changed my mind on what I was going to say.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right.
So are we having a team like break moment and everyone going off to do their individual duties?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So as today goes about its hours as normal, Winters, it sounded to me like you wanted to do a medical examination on your fellow party members to make sure that they are ready for yeah,
And it's non-voluntary.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Oh fuck!
So, can you give me
Get the pencil away from me.
your list, and you can say it, you don't actually have to type it, of who you want to examine first. So you can call them up on comms, call them into... Basically, it's a bit shit. You're calling them into Darius's bedroom. Because that's...
I'm not going to be there all day anyway,
Well,
so...
no, we'll move it. So Darius currently has an extra bed set up with a blind.
I think it's just easier if I just move room, to be honest with you.
Well, no, because then because you could still use it on the map. That's what I was going to get at. So you and your sister are currently sharing a room, but you do have a divider up. But the Medicaid room will be built into one of the spare rooms within the building.
Okay.
So Winters, you basically go off into the medical suite, check everything's good, everything's functioning up to scratch, and then you can decide who you're calling in and when. Just give me a straight up Medicaid test when you get them in and you get them to accept the Medicaid test. And
this is going to be contested Medicaid at some point.
No. Well, yeah, for some of you. So at the moment, it would be because out of character, I know pretty much everyone's perfectly fine. So, but as you are the medic, this is something you have the right to do. The Inquisitor could order it, but as the team medic, it's your duty to do this. So, yes, in the future, if anyone gets a mutation, technically you'll be the first to know about it. But yeah, you just call up who you want, and then we'll work it into the timeline of, okay, you picked Liliana, well, first person, it's in the morning,
I'll start with our team. Just call up everyone and ask them to show up for a medical examination as soon as possible.
I would then just show up, follow Winters. Sorry.
No, so what happens is everyone does the break and hands in the middle of the table, and team go. You all go off in your own directions. Winters goes up to the Medicaid suite, checks that everything's in order, and then goes on comms. Medicaid calling all Alpha team personnel for Medicaid checks. You all just get to your positions. You're like, oh, okay.
Yep, that is exactly what I do.
Okay.
I guess I would just give my troops some exercises and bugger off to medical.
Sure, they start doing the hacker.
Alright, you
'cause
little
it's the only
shits,
thing
let's
they really
go.
know how to do.
And I guess they could do setups and similar exercises. Just let them do that for an hour.
Yeah, as soon as you leave, you hear them starting doing the hacker, because they could run around in a circle or they could do the hacker.
Yeah, I'll go willingly. Just get it over and done with.
Does everyone turn up willingly?
I would.
As long as it was
Um,
early enough, yes.
Technically speaking, so long as it's not going to be a trouble for the things I'll be doing, because
No.
I technically already roll for those.
You basically, Liliana, you prepare your, you're like, okay, so this is what I'm going to do. You've got everything in order. You're just about to start work, and then you get called up, and you're like, Emperor, damn it, fine.
If it's like that, I'll go.
So fortunately, these examinations wouldn't take long. It's 40k. You have a best quality Medicaid suite. Your tech priest has a Medicaid Mechadendrite. You've got everything for it to be a real quick examination. So this time round, Winters, you don't actually need to roll Medicaid. Just know that in the future, you will have to, for your character to know what's going on. Unless, the person comes forth. He's like, sorry, I've mutated. I'm filth.
Don't worry, we'll just chop it off and put something better there.
For now.
I
So-
don't believe that works out of
Never
chapter.
happening.
So it does, but it's... So this is how it works. If, let's say you get a tentacle for a hand, like someone we know, if you chop it off and put a prosthetic there, over time, the tentacle will grow back, and it will stop the prosthetic from working, because it will break the connection. So then your Medicaid has to then do a painful operation removing more of your arm, and then adding in a better prosthetic, because it's now getting more and more of a wrist. Because first it was the hand, but now it's going further and further up your arm, because it will mutate from your flesh. So yeah, Chaos, bit of a bastard like that. Doesn't let you off that easy.
So what you're telling me is that you just leave the tentacle there and it's not going to get worse?
No. You may have a tentacle for a
Just done
hand
that
for many, many years, and then you go over the next threshold, and now you've got tentacles in other places.
No. What I mean is, if I chop it off, it gets worse.
Over months, yeah. You do get months before it starts regrowing again, but it will eventually start regrowing. There are things that you can do to slow down the growth of a mutation. But again, only people in the Inquisition would even know about it, really. And that's basically a lot of pain is involved, a lot of burning the flesh with sacred metals and shit like that. As far as I'm aware, in the tabletop rules, in the TTR rules, there's no way of getting rid of corruption. There's no way of getting rid of mutations. They will always come back. But if you grow a tentacle as a hand and just leave it, yeah, it will stay as a tentacle for a hand until you cross over the next threshold. And you'll be burnt at the stake as a mutant. Terrible.
Well then.
So you all go in. Winters is able to give you a nice quick check over. You've got more than enough Medicaid equipment. So Winters, do you want to roll Medicaid for each individual and diagnostics? It's up to you. I don't think they have any secrets.
That would be a bit of a pain.
Yeah. So you do the Medicaid checks. They all come back as a clean bill of health. I don't like. You would probably learn a few things about the party. Like, for example, you would know now if Liliana didn't tell you she was a. Hang on, you are a. You were born in space, weren't you, Liliana? You're a spacer.
Yes, I'm the Void One, but
yeah.
I think everybody knows that, doesn't they?
I don't know if Winters
I don't
would
think
be.
it's ever been brought up.
I think
It might have been.
original.
I'm pretty sure it was
Originally,
brought
yeah.
up. You might just not have been there yet.
It's in.
Yeah.
It'd be in the case files for each person, but now as a Medicaid, you also see the bone structure. You see, how she's built and certain things, genetic traits that give it away. That would be the same for everyone. There'd be genetic traits that tell where you're from. So you know a bit more information about your party members. Apart from that, I've got no other secrets I can give you, I'm afraid. No one has acid blood or anything like that yet.
We'll get there eventually.
One day.
I don't have physical deformities. I just have mental deformities.
I don't have
I do.
either.
The only thing I have, I already sent to Eris. So
I'm just at corn levels of both.
So, yeah, your part of your morning goes by with Medicaid tests, but nothing that would impede you, Liliana. So there's a lot of the other party members would come. Would anyone actually throw a hissy fit? No.
I'd be doing it a bit begrudgingly, but it's a medical checkup. We have to do it. We do it.
Yeah, I don't think maybe the assassin doesn't turn up. I mean, he's the only one who's aloof enough to just be like, well, yeah, comms off.
Do you want to climb through the vents to find an Eris?
I
Nuella.
don't think I fit into the vents.
Not with that
Oh,
attitude.
so this is a good point.
Yeah.
You're checking.
Hang on, we should get some butter. Come on, hang on.
So you're checking Nuella. This is interesting.
Oh!
Oh, okay. Huh. Right, okay, let's just do one more, just to...
I don't like when DCM goes.
Okay, right. So, pretty much your day goes by quite nicely, Winters. There's a few grumbles and moans from person to person, but most of them turn up. We'll say Dariel, the assassin, doesn't. It's only when Nuella turns up that just her behaviors are very illogical. They're very scatterbrained. She doesn't focus on any one thing. She doesn't really sit still unless she's eating.
Be right back.
So, as you bring her into the Medicaid, and you're like, okay, Noelle, sit down here, let me get the scanner. She's already got up and is starting to pick up instruments and look at them, and she licks a scalpel, a handle. I smell green. And I see blue. And she just starts walking around and as you're trying to herd her, no, over here, sit down. What, she's already got up, and you quickly okay, hang on, let me double check this. You bring up the file on her, and you're like, okay, yeah, psycho, and okay, bollocks, the words left me. Her ability, she's
Precognition?
Yeah, precognition. And you're like, okay, right, because the other two psychics act quite normal, and she is just out of it. She looks as if she's on drugs, and you're like, okay, so you get your diagnoster out and you begin scanning her, and you're able to tell just from the diagnoster that her sweat is giving off enough chemicals to tell that she's doped up on something strong. You're like, okay, right, well, this is clearly not working. I can't do work like this. So would you try to either sedate her so she's a little bit more
Oh
competent?
no.
Opposite?
I am not removing the drugs from her system. They are there for a good reason.
Okay, sure. So it is really difficult to get this girl to just sit still and for you to get, blood samples and you can do. So what would you like to do? Is there anything you would like to attempt? You can just, be like, fuck this. Get the psycho out of it.
I'd probably ask someone who's more experienced at handling her than I am to help me. And I try to just sneak in the tests between keeping her from, eating my tools.
Sure. So Castella is basically her handler most of the time. So the call for aid comes out, and she would probably be the one to respond. So Castella comes in, and even Castella's a bit like, she's not normally this out of it, because she can be herded, essentially. She normally does do what you say, and even she's like, I think someone fucked up the dosages.
It would make sense, because her stats are off the charts.
So, Castella, like you say that, and she's like, I understand this. Like, she shouldn't be this out of it, and she begins patting her down. Nuella just starts giggling at this, but she's like, I'm not crazy. I'm not in a crazy enough mood to come up with mental shit at the moment. So she just says crazy shit as she's getting like patted down, but she's giggling and all sorts of crap. And all of a sudden, in the pat down, you hear a and Castella reaches in to her pocket, but it's not in her pocket. So she goes underneath her clothing. Nuella starts giggling even more and like fighting it, but not fighting, like ticklish acting, kid play kind of thing. And Castella pulls out from under her clothing a packet of drugs container of psycho suppressors. Wait, what's she doing with these? She shouldn't have these. Nuella, who gave these to you? She holds up the pack that Nuella just doesn't have. She's just like, I see blues, greens, and purples. Like, he's out of it.
I can probably administer her something that clears her system out a little, but I don't think it's gonna be a pleasant process.
So with these, rather than giving her detox, you'd be aware with these that you could spend basically a Medicaid test on her, keep an eye on her over an hour, and bring her down quicker from the effects of the drugs, whilst not, like, you can take your time with her rather than having to do it quickly with a detox or anything like that. But again, you still want her on. You don't want to take away all of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, and detox is not a pleasant process.
Yeah, you'd want to use that in extremis. Whereas, again, like I said, you've got the time to basically stick an IV in her with the help of Castella, or 40k IV. Put a couple of other drugs in her that block off her synapses taking on the psycho reactive agents. So after you do this, it's not, again, you're in the best quality, like you really don't need, well, actually, give me a Medicaid test. You can only technically fail it on a 96 and above, because a 96 is a fail and a natural 100 is a critical fail. So just give me a test just to see if you're rolling, if Knuckle really hates you. No,
Papa always hates me. You know this.
well, you've succeeded. So clearly you've done something to please them. So with 2 degrees of success, you're actually able to reduce the time. So it's not an hour now; it's half an hour. You bring her down enough to where the medical examination is really simple at this point. She's paying more attention. And when Castella asks her who gave you these, do you know his name? Well, no. The old man gave them to me. He said they'd calm me down. Festus.
Which old man?
Festus. The preacher.
God fucking damn it!
He didn't know. He was like, okay, she could look after herself, surely.
I just sit down. I haven't even put my headphones on. I hear us yell, "God fucking damn it!" My headphones aren't even on yet. What happened?
The preacher gave the girl fucking suppressants, which turned her into a fucking opium addict.
Wait, what? What? What?
Yeah, pretty much. Do you know when Noelle was going crazy and Festus called you up and he was like, "Don't worry, we gave her something to keep her calm." He gave her something and he gave her the pot as well. So there you go. You could administer these yourself.
You can taste colors.
Lovely.
To be honest with you, Aris, that's
You
kind
can't
of
do that?
normal. Noelle tasting colours and seeing sounds, but not being able to concentrate at all, not being able to follow a single order and fidgeting, and basically she got given massive ADHD, so that she couldn't concentrate to use her powers.
Okay. Is there? Oh fuck. Okay. So what are you gonna do, medic?
No, she's been brought down. It's about half an hour, and she comes around, and now she's more. She can concentrate on sentences. She can speak to you better. Still not great. And yeah, you learn that it was.
Is she still like
Festus.
half doped?
No. At this point, she's come round. She's still typical Noelle, but she's at a level of doping where she can function. Kind of.
It's just
Oh, hang on,
regular
okay.
dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably get a real understanding that Noelle is batshit crazy. Unlike the other 2 psychers, her gift really fucked her brain up. So keeping her sedated is kind of the norm, to a degree.
I mean,
I kind of
Kinda.
presumed as much, and honestly, that's not that excessive considering psychers. I mean, her head hasn't exploded yet, so it can't be that bad.
She's only rolled a few times, and she did cause rain to fall from the ceiling once. So
It's fine.
give or take, But if there's nothing else you want to do with Noelle, then by all means, you can do your normal checkup on her. To put into the docket, have words with Festus. Like, where's Festus? Oh, he's out on a pilgrimage. Okay.
is he still getting the fucking?
Yeah, he only left yesterday.
Okay.
And he's got to visit 3 or 4. No, he's got to visit 4 churches. So he'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, he's got to do all the normal priestly duties when he gets there. Kiss the statues and all that crap. So okay, if there's nothing else you want to do with Noelle, you have examined everyone. You've learned a little bit. Well, everyone but one. You've learned a little bit about each individual. Yeah, I imagine the tech priest would probably also go in. So we move over to another individual as someone opens a door and closes it. Maybe they lean back on the door and their work begins. So, over to the blood room.
Blood room, what you gonna do?
Oh boy.
So, how would you like to start this? Obviously, if you're wanting to, can I not get you directly in the middle? I'm going to get you directly in the middle. Hang on.
I can get me directly in the middle.
Yeah, close.
You put me off to
Close enough. That'll do.
there we go. Hello.
That's better. So, essentially, you can stop me at any point if things don't sound right. But in my head, you're closing the door, you're checking the blood on the wall, and okay, that all looks good. It doesn't look like anything's gone wrong. You can roll a scrutiny roll if you'd like. But
I'm
once
gonna do that and fail.
So once that's you've had a look round, you've prepared yourself as best you can. You have to reach under your bed and grab the book. Okay, so don't worry too much. I know it is a failure, but technically you haven't failed with enough degrees of success for being in your room and having an unlimited amount of time to look round.
Yeah. Okay.
You've taken a deep breath. You're not rushing this. You've got as much time. You look round, and whilst you may have missed a few small details here and there, everything looks in place. Everything, and again, maybe you check one and you're like, no, that's how it should be. Okay, right, cool. Let's pull it out. So,
I don't just whip it out without protection.
So as you go and grab the thing that is under your bed, it tries to grab you. So can I get a willpower test with a plus 40?
With a plus 40.
Yes. Okay. So
not gonna lie, I saw the 8 pop up before the 4, and I thought, "Fuck, I failed it somehow."
So as you reach in and your hand touches the surface of the book, you feel this entity reach out and try to grab you back. But it doesn't find any premise, it doesn't find any hold on you. Your defenses are already at a much higher level than what it can deal with. On top of that, you're a psyker. It's a minor entity. It never really stood a chance unless you were unprepared, and you take it and easily forcing it back to where it should be, you pull the book out.
I make sure my door is locked before continuing. And I'd like to open the book.
Okay, so as you open the book, you flick through a couple of pages. They're blank. If you want to basically commune stroke force, I will need a Psyniscience test. It's a focus power Psyniscience roll. So this is you forcing your psychic will upon the demon to show you its secrets. I believe I was correct with because it's a.
It would either be Psyniscience or Demonology. If it's a focus power, I can use the Psi focus as well for a bonus.
Yes, because this is you forcing your power onto the creature to be like, look, I am this powerful. You would do it. It's basically an intimidation test on a demon entity, which for you is your psychic might.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, easily you're able to flare up your power, directing it towards the book. You do notice, just out of the corner of your eye, that there is a slight haze in the air. And as you breathe out, there's a slight, the tiniest wisps of your breath can be seen. So you have had an effect on the room, but your warding would prevent that from being seen by any other astropaths or psychers or what have you. But just as a reference, that push of power was enough to minorly affect your blood writing and drop the temperature in the room. But it cannot succeed with 6 degrees of success. So it basically gives the writing on the book begins to appear. And as you're like, right, they're secrets, I have them, you begin reading parts and you're, again, like, they would hide this? So much effort to hide this? And it's much like the other pages that you ripped from the other book and the pages that the others took photos of. This one is a little more direct, however, whereas the other book was hinting and slightly implying the working with other entities, that cooperation was the way for progress and to move forwards and to strengthen humanity. This book, again, the creatures are there, the odd entities, the strange drawings, but this book speaks far more onto a symbiotic, for us to work together, to share a vessel, to hold two powers in one. But it seems like, again, it's heretical, but it's not. The demon entity is far more heretical than what the book is. Okay, you'd be executed for having possession of this book. The Imperium executes you for possession of many things. It's not really worth having this entity in it. You can study the book further and scrutinize the book to see if there are secrets within the book, the text, or you can interact with the demon in a way. If you want to do that, we can break down some ways you can do that.
I'd probably like to, break down the demon a bit more, because it feels like at the moment it's letting me see stuff, but it's not letting me see what it's particularly hiding, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, by all means.
Because as you said, it isn't particularly bad stuff. So
I made out what you were saying, Waldo. I did hear it. Anyway, yeah, I got it. But your mic is breaking up a bit.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's quite all right. So you can roll demonology to get an idea of what the Imperium knows of dealing with demons and a way that you can perhaps deal with it. Might not give you the exact information that you would want, but it will give you information in a certain position, and you can probably use that.
Yeah. Okay, I shall try that.
Okay, so 3 degrees of success. Because it's a minor demon entity, there's a lot less information that you would have about dealing with them other than utter destruction. So enforcing your will upon it is the main way that the Imperium would deal with something like this. So again, you can do a Psyniscience check to force your will onto it, to force it to show you what you want to see.
Yep. Nope. Do not want to put a bonus in on 410. Fuck you, game. I'm gonna fake that.
Sure.
Fuck you!
Okay.
You son of a bitch! Dice!
So, as you failed, you attempt to force your will upon it. You're unable to do. You can't quite concentrate, or there's something that just puts you off at this point, and you feel it attempt to push back. It only has a 20% chance to succeed, so it's not the greatest chances. So you feel it push back. It is weak. It's kind of feeble. It feels weaker, in fact, than the last time you dealt with it. But you're not quite... It's not telling you anything more. But it does try to reach out. Do either of you two have sending? I don't think you do. Or does Liliana have sending?
I think Liliana might, but I don't. Because I'm guessing that's a psychic power.
Yeah. Well, sorry, yeah. Telepathic link would be I think the
sending is that Heresy one or Rogue Trader. I have telepathic link.
Yeah, it's the same, Jim. It's the same thing. It's sending telepathic link. It's basically the same thing. So I think then my memory is correct. Waldo, you have experienced telepathic link with Liliana at one point. Unless I'm wrong, Jim, by all means, shout out if you remember if you've used it on Waldo or not.
I don't remember using it on any of our members, but I might have. I don't remember.
I thought you did very early on.
I think you did once.
Yeah, I thought it was very early on.
Again, I might have.
You've done it with me, and
because remember you didn't have comm beads to start with.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's just that.
So for now,
we've been playing this for like 2 or 3 years now. I don't remember everything I did.
For now,
I think already for that long.
I think we have enough of a consensus that it probably happened. So, Mordecai, you have a understanding of what this thing's trying to do. It's a much cruder form. So where you've both failed to dominate, it seems to be trying something else. Now your psychic might is more than enough to prevent this, or you can accept it.
I would probably lift my defenses a little bit to get a bit more of an idea of what it's trying to do. So I'm not letting it into my mind.
So it's sending you a message. It's sending you a message. So the only way you can you could feel it, sending the ping.
Oh, okay.
The only way you can is to drop your. So would you?
If it's just the feeling of it sending me a message rather than trying to be in my brain, then I probably would let it.
Can I get a willpower check? There is a -20.
Of course there is.
Oh, hang on, wait. Before you put the -20. No, sorry, I think it's flat. I think it is flat. Yeah, roll it flat.
Is there any bonuses with warding?
No.
Or-
This one would
Okay.
be completely flat. Because there is no resistance, corruption. You did succeed. So you only take 1 point of corruption as a demonic presence enters your mind. Now, it's not words that it's sending to you. It is too weak to use words, but it's sending you a feeling. Hunger, ravenous, starving, needs food. That's all that you could feel coming from this thing.
What kind of food, or is it just hunger?
So if you were to think of food, it wants souls. It wants life energy.
Okay. I just send back to it just a a feeling of kind of, if it ever wants to possibly have food again, it to obey me, sort of thing. Tell me what I need to know, and you might get food.
Okay. So basically you send that. It's constant sending of this feeling of hunger just stops. It sends the hunger again, but then it also sends, you're now getting a feeling of curiosity, of not full-on submissiveness. It seems to understand you're willing to parlay. But it's incredibly weak, the sense that you're getting from it. So if you give me another Psyniscience, to kind of, you've said you're willing to deal, but now you're enforcing that again as best as your understanding of demonology comes across. Yeah. So you're enforcing it with Psyniscience to be like, okay, there may be food if you do what I say, bigging yourself up with your power.
Yeah, I mean, I do have Psi rating 5, which, even though it doesn't influence the roll, why does it not influence the roll? Fuck my dice. My dice can suck it.
So again, when you fail, it becomes an opposed, but it's got 20%. It's not. It came close. So you both kind of, basically, you're at least from its point of view, you've shown yourself to be very powerful to begin with, but maybe lacking in control, maybe not as proficient as it thinks. So you're both kind of evenly pushing off here, and it's because it's in its weakest form that it can be, and still be in this plane, because it's attached to the book through ritual. So it doesn't have enough power to be able to do proper conversation. So it gives you the desire. It gives you the desire for secrets. It sends the desire for secrets, for the lust for knowledge. But then it sends the hunger again, and this weakness. It shows its own weakness to you. And the hunger, and then a satisfied feeling, a feeling you would know very well, of just a full belly, completely satisfied. And then it sends the feeling of acquiring something, that feeling of, yes, I've got what I want, and it sends the feeling of knowledge, of lusting for knowledge, and you can get the idea it's very, very weakly trying to communicate with feelings, and it's coming across as hungry, weak, lust for knowledge, secrets, can give, but hungry, weak, need feeding.
I just kind of almost doubled down on that hunger feeling of like, you'll never taste anything again, and never have the chance to, if you don't tell me what I need to know.
So it would send the feeling of acquiring something, and then the feeling of losing it, and then the feeling of death. No. Yeah, the feeling of losing it, feeling of death, yeah. And then it tries to make that a bit more clearer through me describing it. So it basically seems to be trying to tell you that it's too weak to do much of anything. But if you feed it, it might be able to help more. It might be able to do more. But if you don't feed it, it will die. Kind of comes across. Again, it feels a lot weaker than when you first picked up the book. You can roll demonology if you'd like to ponder upon this.
Yeah, I was gonna say demonology because I know demons try and trick all the time, so it's. Come on, dice. Can you stop being so? Fucking hate my dice. My dice suck. I'm gonna save my reroll, my last reroll, because I already got
Okay.
2. Just nice.
So as you're pondering, it is possible that the demon is lying to you. I mean, it's always there, but maybe the demon is getting weaker. Maybe the binding ritual wasn't good enough, perhaps? You kind of look at the book and, I mean, you don't really know how it was bound. So, I mean, the book looks good, so, that could make good quality. Maybe that matters. But you don't see any blatant chaos or runic scripture anywhere on it. And you're kind of like, well, looking at your runes around the place, which, as you look, there's a slight haze in the air. Ever so slight. The runes are all still there. And you don't know if it's lying to you. You don't know if it's, you're not quite sure, but it might be telling the truth. Again, you're not quite sure.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like those demons can't necessarily die, so they weaker. Okay, maybe. So,
maybe it thinks you wouldn't understand the feeling for being banished. It's like, well, human,
yeah.
so I will send death to him because he will know what death feels like.
Yeah, that's true. I say to it, I'm not fully relenting, but in how I say this, it's more what food do you want?
So it's just going to tell you souls. It's just going to tell you the life force. Out of character. So you have a couple of options here. You can sacrifice your stats, because your stats are your body and your part of your soul, to feed it. Probably the noble sacrifice. Or you can feed it a gang member, and have a gang member just get shitter and shitter and shitter until, you know, their stats are gone and they die. You would then need to cover up the death so that it doesn't look, you know, suspicious. That's if you. It gets to that point of them dying. Yeah, technically, you know, 5 from any given stat would be enough to give it a meal. Let's say.
That'd be permanent 5.
Yeah.
Don't have high enough stats, but that's not gonna fuck me completely.
I will point out, if you do decide to pick a gang member, you are always picking on the same poor bastard every time until he's dead, and then another one can come through. Easier to keep track of it.
Yes. The issue is, at this point, I will need to involve someone else, at least. After I get that impression of that's how I can do it.
Yeah, it takes a while, but it explains. You can take the book with you, so you could take the book with you and you know, basically give the book to a ganger and say, "Can you read this?" And it will do its business then.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring them into the blood room. You don't just so you don't have to bring them into the blood room. You can take the book out of the blood room and then return it.
Yeah. Does the ganger have to be conscious?
He has to willingly open and look at the book. So you can't go up to someone who's asleep and just give it to them, because they have to open the pages.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You do a quick test. You can draw on the pages, and the image gets sucked in. If you force your will and tell it, like, no, show it, it will, like, get the grasp that you want this to be seen, so it will leave the image on. So basically, you could draw a cock and balls on there and give it to a ganger, you know, if you. Because yeah, Geddy, you're right. You're Darius. Can they even read? Probably not. But anyone could look at a picture.
Yeah.
Also, Gertie, I am drilling them, so.
You're drilling some of them. They're littered all over the place. Because there's a group who watch the front of your business. There's a group who patrol your grounds. So you are training all of the ones who are technically quote unquote off duty. Ezio. Yeah. All the ones who are on duty technically.
I mean, I guess I would notice when it goes too far.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. You won't notice until it's too late. Because I'm going to roll out of character what stat is being affected. So it might just be that a guy gets dumber. And you're just like, God, this is a fucking thick shit. What's wrong with him? And you don't, he's just a dumbass. Until he, like, his brain stops working one day and the medic is like, he died from brain ceasing function?
Yeah. The issue is I kind of still want them in the blood room because...
Just pointing it out there, I don't think there would be much of a chance of reconciliation in character. Just an FYI.
Despite it be... So I would probably call Ezio. I'd leave the room, I'd put the book away and leave the room, and just comms Ezio of who out of our gang would you not miss? I need one for an important mission.
Considering we currently need all of them as meatbags, I would like to know what you want to send him on.
I probably stutter a little bit.
I'll be right back.
No.
Fantastic time. Give me a chance.
I would probably imagine there's at least one or two or three or a dozen of your guys who are proper like drug addicts. You know, they are really on the ropes. Because you kind of recruited anyone and everyone, so
that's kind of why I'm like, out of everyone, who would you not miss?
You know all those new guys that Ezio and Liliana decided to kidnap?
Oh no, they all
the
died.
ones that were tweaked out of their fucking mind when you first found them.
Yeah,
no,
probably
dead.
one of them.
I think they're all dead.
Those are all dead, buddy.
Yeah, I think they all died.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought you. Oh no, that's right. You fucked it up. Never mind.
I'd also.
I didn't fuck it up. Liliana's just an intimidating person.
Yeah, I'd also comms Darius as well, given that Ezio is currently not here. Darius, I need you to discuss something. You may be able to help. You probably won't like it.
I never seem to like things anymore. All right.
Come to the blood room.
That's always a good sign. Why am I still wearing my headphones? Should be on the charger. Okay.
And once you're in my room, I just kind of go. So this is what I meant. Show him all the signs everywhere. Looks like a crazy person.
I'll not admit I'm not impressed.
But it's the soundest night's sleep you'll ever have.
I don't want to test that. I mean, are there actual like depictions of things in the walls, or is it just literally like the fucking walls are covered in random patterns?
It's like just holy symbols and all sorts of
wait, imperial symbols and stuff, and
yes, not no symbols.
Okay, that I'm very concerned now. You've just told a very religious person. Basically, you've just went into a Catholic church and told the priest, "Hey, come look at my house," and then all of a sudden, like you have all the crucifixes and everything else, but they're painted in blood and feces.
Well, not feces, but blood. Or if you ever watched the show Supernatural, like that warding stuff.
No, I know what you mean, but again, you've just shown someone who's rather religious. I can't say very religious. He's not a priest, but he is rather religious.
Yeah, I just say, well, it works, and on that, I'm just gonna ask it just quickly. Are you okay? And I'm gonna do a Psyniscience on him as like a psychic look to see if anything's about him.
Okay,
that's all right, Tiff.
I think this is AFK. Oh, never mind. He's back. Okay. I mean, you look at me and ask if I'm okay, and I kind of look back. I motion to the walls. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine, dandy. Well, other than the fact that we might be summoning a demon soon. That's got to be a bit on edge, I'll be honest. But what about you? And then is this back? That's the question.
Yes.
He is. Okay. I'm just going to roll a Sidician on Darius to see if there's anything that's like, because he mentioned bad dreams, and Mordecai has a history of bad dreams, and bad dreams tend to be linked to things. Other things looking at him. So I doubt it is. It's just fucking dice. Christ.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
Nope. Not the, well, the maybe it's the effect of the room. Maybe it's the warding that's putting you off. But For some reason, you just can't focus on this Sinicians thing. Just can't get it today.
Yeah. I just go. At least try this room tonight. You might sleep better.
Here's a book you can read. It might help you sleep.
I'm not going to go that far.
I'm trying to scrub my recollection of this room from my mind as we speak. Oh.
Well, you might have to see it later, so that's fine. Further to that, my studies have hit I don't want to say a roadblock, but a speed bump. And one of our gangers may need to disappear if I am to get any further information. Just one. Don't need more than that.
Mordecai, can I get another willpower?
What fucking dice?
Okay, I'd like a 1d5 plus 1 for insanity. You've just asked your friend if you could sacrifice one of your gangers.
I didn't say sacrifice.
Go missing.
I said use.
Go missing.
It may need to go missing for a little bit. It's 1d10 because I can't do 1d5s on here, but divided by 2 is 4.
Plus 1 is 5. Oh no, sorry, you did you did the plus 1, so it's 7, which is 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 in total.
4. Yeah.
It's rounded up?
Waldo does a 1d10, and then you divide it in 2, and then it's to do a 1d5.
Yeah.
So that's how you're meant to do it in the game.
It's
why not just do a 1d5? We have the technology.
Because I can do the plus 1 easier with the advanced dice roller. Shush.
We have the technology to make it simpler.
Shush.
So
that does put me above 10, but I don't know if anything happens.
So you'll be rolling for minor. Yeah, we'll do that after the after the game. After the stream session.
Yeah. I also might need help. I don't want to. I'm just running with this as well because I did roll fairly not great for the insanity. I may need help making sure that any waste is properly disposed of. He's pulling like the you're gonna say no and I know it, but please kind of face. It's not as bad as it looks, I promise.
Darius is kind of stunned, and he's been dead silent, staring you in the eyes of that. Maybe you hear the rattle of his fingers on the casing of the bolt pistol. But
go.
Mordecai, what you better explain this very carefully.
I need someone's spiritual energy to help me test a theory that isn't going to result in any demon popping up. So it's a test that will use someone's spiritual energy, but it won't not causing me or anyone else any danger. But
you're asking me to damn someone, Mordecai.
I have returned, apologies.
This is why I come to you rather than doing it without saying anything. There is a good chance that they won't be damned, but the chance is there. That's why I suggest a ganger and not one of you. Or well, it would be a question if it was one of you. That came out wrong. It wouldn't be a question of possibility of doing it.
You're just digging this hole deeper and deeper.
I'm aware. Look, it's either you or Liliana, and I trust the person who'll put a bolt shell in my head more than to tell me when I'm doing the wrong thing.
You're doing the wrong thing. You are, from what I can, again, from what I can understand of what you're telling me, you're trying to take a part of someone's soul, trying to take their life essence and I can't help you. No. I
This is why I share with you and Liliana everything.
To damage their soul, Mordecai, is to damn them. If their soul is not intact, they'll not see the Emperor. That
probably sobers Mordecai up a little bit. Oh yeah, and it's like all I'm doing is exploring options. I'm not doing anything without you.
It's an extremely big ask, Mordecai.
I'm aware that, but my point is I'm not doing it anyway. If you say no, it's a no. I'm following our orders in keeping it limited, but bringing in people when I need a second set of eyes.
How much of this can you even what are you using the soul energy for? You're using the soul. Sorry, the soul fragment, the energy. What is it? Is it fueling something? Is it?
It's. I had it in my head of what I was going to say to that question earlier. Fuck, I mentioned it earlier. It's a ritual of sorts that will help me.
Like the one in the, like something similar to the Skolam, like that ritual, the one in the church.
No, those were more much more heretical versions of what we may do tomorrow. This is more a ritual to gain knowledge and just a better understanding of how things flow. And
if you want to do this, Mordecai, if you want to do this, I'll let you. You're not touching anyone on the team. You're not touching the gang. You're not touching anyone here. You're going to go out into the hive. You're going to go find someone who is scum of the earth. Then think about it. Find a person that you think doesn't even deserve to see the heel of the Emperor's boot when they die.
I see him in the mirror every day.
You what?
I'm damned, Darius. That's what it is to be a psyker. Just speak to the priest, you know that. But I get your point.
Darius, what insanity point?
If you don't think I should, and it doesn't sound like you think I should, I won't.
If oh, like I said, if it is so pressing to do so and everything else, do what I told you to go and find someone who. I want no part.
And I'm not doing it. If you feel that way, I'd rather not than lose any amount of trust. This is why you and Liliana are my sounding board.
Liliana probably knows more about this shit than I do.
Liliana does not know about this shit. And this is people's lives. You've had to make decisions on people's lives since the day I met you, and I know before then. Liliana, not so much. The most number of people's lives I've had to look out for was my family, my sister, and then you. You're the only person I've ever had to be responsible for, ever. So I can't make the call on my own.
What about your sister?
My sister is... The less said about her, the better. More because I don't know what happened to her, but I was responsible for what happened to her. If that makes sense.
Okay.
If you want to know more, I can tell you, but
No.
nothing like what I'm asking here. More and
Go. Right. How about this? Go talk to Liliana. Sit down, talk things through. Psyker to psyker. I've got something to think about.
Yeah, it's just this. I'll see what she says, but the final say is yours.
I'll contact you in a couple of hours, and I'm walking into the room.
So, Geddy, did you hear when I said 1 insanity?
Yep, I accidentally added 1 corruption point instead, so I fixed that.
Okay. Because my logic here is you're still sacrificing even a degraded person. I was like, there's at least 1. There's at least 1 in there. So, how are we doing for time?
I'm good for another couple of minutes, but probably 25 past at the latest, if not half past at most.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna. Did you want to go and talk to Liliana Mordecai today?
Yeah, if I could just do a quick chat with Liliana, but
So
it shouldn't take long.
we quickly press the speed up button as Mordecai moves all through the building down to the where the cars are kept, the garage. And you go in there and you can see Liliana's off to the side working on some sort of project that she hasn't told anyone about.
Probably I make my presence known before I get there, so it's not like even if she's engrossed into it, she'll hear me like stomping about, calling her name before I get anywhere close, that sort of thing. Because I know she was working on something kind of not secret, but to herself, so I didn't want to intrude.
I'm doing metalworking right now, buddy.
It's essentially giving you plenty of time to cover stuff over if you need it, but if not,
No, there is nothing to be covered. I don't know how far along this would be in the first day of me making it, but you can probably see a ring already, maybe.
yeah. I probably look at the ring and then look to you and go, "We'll talk about that later." Didn't think you were ready for that. I need your advice, and also I totally just messed things up with Darius by going to him for advice.
Okay, hi Darius, hi Mordecai. What did you do, and why did you mess things up with Darius?
So, with how things work, with my knowledge is that I tell you to what the team needs to know, and then it gets disseminated, and that not everyone needs to know my plans for potential information gathering tomorrow.
I'm going to slowly stop putting down the big piece of metal thing I have in my hand. I'm going to slowly start turning to look towards you. Go on.
I've hit a roadblock, and the only way through it is for someone to provide me their spiritual energy, but it could be deadly to them, not to anyone else. And so I went to Darius because he's the one, but he is a moral guide, if nothing else. And I'm aware I can get too caught up in research, and also that it's damning someone, and it wouldn't be anyone of that we know necessarily. Might be a ganger, but yeah. So I've lost his respect for that. But I think just rattling off.
Mordecai, sorry. Liliana is usually smiling. She's no longer smiling at all. She's just looking at you. What the fuck do you mean, someone's soul energy? What the fuck do you want to do?
The only thing I can do to prepare now is to try something that is not dangerous to anyone else.
What do you need to prepare that would require the soul of someone else as fuel? To even consider such a thing already tells me you're doing something wrong.
As I said, I can get too caught up in the research and not necessarily understand things.
Mordecai, what the fuck are you trying to do? I may not be as knowledgeable as you in, I'm going to whisper, demonology, but I also know a little bit. So what in the Emperor's name are you trying to do?
I just look around to make sure no one's around, and say, in order to figure out how I can actually do the thing tomorrow that I might have to do tomorrow, I need to try something out.
So you want to sacrifice
It's
someone's
not
soul
no,
for that?
because they will probably survive. But
Mordecai, have you gone insane?
this is why I ask.
Why are you even considering such a thing? Mordecai, this is the type of thing that Ketsa psychers shot for.
Yes, I know, but have you
Then
ever been
whatever-
so caught up in something that until you speak to someone about it, you don't realize quite where you've gone with it? That's what happened. Okay?
Then listen to my words. Whatever it is you're doing, Mordecai, stop it. Because it's not worth it. Because you're not just going to be burning someone's soul, no matter who they are, you're also tainting your own soul just by thinking something so stupid. Whatever it is you're doing, stop.
I'm going to. Darius had a similar reaction.
Oh, I don't think he did. He probably doesn't understand it as well as I do.
He
He is not a psyker.
no,
he
but
said
he
you could do it, actually, Mordecai. He said you could.
know,
You just
he
have to
said
go
I-
capture
yeah,
your
but-
own prey.
But he said could in that way that parents do of it's a yes but actually no. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed if you do it. And he's just disappointed regardless.
Yeah, understanding, honestly.
I'm not just angry. I'm also extremely disappointed that you would even consider such a thing.
As I said, I get caught up in the research, and then this is why you and Darius exist in this role for this stuff.
Mordecai,
You are my lifeline to tell me no, and you've told me no. That's fine. The next time,
please, Mordecai, for your sake and mine, don't ever even consider such a thing.
look, I'm not going to.
I'm going to grab. I don't know how many hours have passed. Maybe I haven't have completely finished one of the
No,
rings
you've
yet.
at least got one done. You've at least got one done.
Okay.
It's been
Yeah, you
4
rolled
hours.
pretty well the first time. Yeah.
I'll get one of the rings, hold it up to you. Do you know what the fuck this is, Mordecai?
Yeah, it looks like
I'm making
an
rings
engagement ring.
for... No, this is a ring for each one of us. You're basically family to me, and you're trying to damn yourself. I'm making rings for all of us to signify our bond. And what I hear is that someone I consider a brother, even though you're not a blood brother to me, you're trying to damn your soul in someone else's soul.
Wasn't going to do anything without talking to you both.
Don't even consider it.
I'm
Darius.
not going to now.
Mordecai.
And I didn't know when I became Darius. I'm not
Sorry.
going to. I just. This is, as I said, you are there for. You are there to make me realize when I've overstepped.
Well, this is way overstepping, friend. Just stop whatever it is you're doing. I thought that those wardings we were doing were for you to study and protect yourself, not to do something as stupid. So please, for the love of all that is holy in the God Emperor's name, don't. I'm going to drop the ring onto the table when you drop something angrily. I'm just going to look at you. Don't.
I'm not. Look, I'm not ever going to do anything that even approaches stepping over a line without consulting you both. But
Do you realize what you're saying?
I
You're saying
realize
that-
I'm not trying to convince you to let me do it anymore. I wasn't trying to convince you anyway, but...
No, Mordecai, what you're saying is, if Darius and myself were not in our right minds, if we're tainted enough, you'd be fine with it. That's the issue here.
It's more... Darius has better skill with this anyway, because he decides people's lives every day. I have never had that experience.
That's... We kill people in the name of the Emperor to protect the Imperium. We decide people's lives all the time, even if we're not the ones calling the shots.
That's why I thought it might be a thing to do, because we do kill people in his name to protect other people.
Mordecai, we hunt people that do things you just suggested.
Just take a deep breath. Not going to do it. I just need to talk about things before I think, and I'll speak before I think. And Darius is going to shoot me in my sleep, I'm pretty sure.
He just might.
Just as well I don't talk to Festus, he thinks I'm damned already.
Of course Festus thinks you're damned. He's a fucking priest, and you told him... You said something very stupid to him. But Festus is an old-ass priest. He's an amazing priest, but he's also ornery and not open-minded.
All I did was say that the God Emperor punished me. That's not... Anyway.
I think I remember something else.
That's all I meant by what I said. That he made me like this, he punished me like this, but... Fine. Will you speak to Darius and just explain that I'm not going down that path? That we're all afraid that some of us may step on. A lot of this stuff strays very close to that path, even the good stuff.
I'll talk to Darius, Mordecai. But promise me you will never, ever even think about doing something like that again.
Never going to use someone else's soul like that.
I'm just going to stare at you angrily and disappointed.
I just
I'll get up from my chair, grab a glow stick, light it, start smoking.
mind if I sit here for a bit and watch you, just quietly.
I'll take a long drag from the glow stick. Sure.
Okay.
I'll sit back and start doing the work again.
So, as the camera no longer exists, but I like how it finishes. As the camera zooms out and Liliana releases a cloud of smoke before picking up the tools again, and Mordecai sits sheepishly, just watching in quiet contemplation. a team member leaves the building. And that is where we end our episode. So we haven't actually got it through day 4 yet. So next week,
Part
we'll have
5, baby!
part 5.
But we started late today.
And it was a bloody good episode.
4.5.
So,
Okay.
Look, it's only be something like 7 sessions. What are you complaining about?
Well, how many sessions did we have for Nolan? Let's see if we can stretch this to 30.
yeah. Could be done.
5 days of planning stretched over 30 sessions. Let's go.
Oh my, this plan has got rather complicated. It's like I've got just whiteboards filled with plans. Like, okay. But yes, that is where we'll have to end our
I
episode.
have to get the JFK whiteboard out. This plan.
I think I mean several whiteboards with just scribbles in it that mean nothing at all.
Just one at the
And
end.
a footnote
Plan
that is
B,
the actual plan.
killable. So yes, please do join in next week for next week's episode, where we will be doing more planning and more RP stuff and fucking around with demons and stuff. It'll be great. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully all of you are as well. Can't remember my outro, so give me oh yes, thank you all so much for watching. Take care everyone, and as always, bye bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya!
Whee!